So last month in September, I released Lady Brain Episode 1, and I also released my first directed piece of anything filmed, which is called To All the Cynics. So that was a lot. There were a lot of fears that came up for me, a lot of insecurities. Just the act of declaring, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm doing something that I don't yet have a huge skill set to do. So, To All the Cynics, as much as it was a success for me, it was so vulnerable to release that, saying, I directed this, I shot this, I edited this. There are glitches, there are weird sound things, there are things that are not in focus, the pictures aren't as pretty as I would want them to be, the list goes on.
Judah's giving us a run for our money. Directing babies is an art.
So after that video came out on Friday, I had a really hard time not wanting to cringe at the idea of all the people watching it cringing. I was cringing about the cringing. So luckily, Jasmine Aluma, she called me that day after I had released the video and was like, how you doing? Just want to check in with you. And all of my responses were like, I'm good. I mean, it's not being shared as much as I thought it would be or wanted it to be. There aren't as many views, but, you know, and I'm kind of worried about this, I'm kind of worried about that. And she was like, okay, stop. Right now, you need to walk away from your computer, take a break, to really take in what I just did. All the little nitpicky things aside, to embrace that I made something and that I'm trying. She prescribed me a podcast that I'm going to tell you all to listen to, Magic Lessons by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's episode 12. She interviews Brené Brown. I'm just going to read something that Brené Brown said. If you put your work out into the world, you're going to get taken down by somebody at some time. But that criticism is a really small price to pay for doing what you love and for feeling whole. And that criticism hurts. But when you compare it to the hurt of what it would feel like to be whispering in a corner, to not be using your voice or sharing your ideas, it's not even on the same seesaw. I'll take it, because the price is way too high the other way. I also watched a speech by Ava DuVernay, who was the director of Selma. In part of her speech, Ava DuVernay says, stop spending time thinking about what you don't have and focus on what you do have. Ask yourself, what can I do? And who wants to come along for the ride? People want to be on a moving train. Be on the Yo, I'm Making Films train. Apply to labs, grants, seminars, etc., but don't wait to be accepted to move forward. And that advice made me feel really good about just doing it. Without all the polished perfections of the high quality films that I know that I want to make one day, I'm beginning. I did investigate the AFI Women's Film Lab, and it's amazing, and I was reading about it, and everything about it sounded like exactly what I want to be doing.
What's that stuff?
When I was looking at the application process, I realized that I already had a few of the things that they needed. At least 3 years experience working professionally in the arts. Done. You also have to submit something that you were sole director on. Just did that last month. And they also want to hear your personal story. Why you want to be a director, why you're feeling called to this, and I'm doing that right now in this project, so I'm just going to be like, just watch Lady Brain and let me in. That possibility is even making me feel more motivated to keep going. Even if I don't get in, I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep learning, and I'm going to see where it takes me. And stay tuned because later this month I'm going to release my second directed short. I don't know the title yet, but I shot it already, so that's good. If you need me, I'll be editing.